Hello, welcome back to What's News. I'm J77, and today I'm just going to keep it a little bit light today. Not going to be talking about too much in the news world, just keeping some of the major stories that caught my attention. I might as well start with New York, because New York had their marathon, the first marathon in a year. It was a welcoming sight to see. A lot of people was pumped up. A lot of people came from all across the country to root for these guys who have done a tremendous job this year of running the marathon. Had the pleasure of talking to a few people who were not only running the marathon, but actually was going to spend their vacation in New York. So it was actually something good to all talk about. These guys train on pretty much a year preparing for these kind of runs, because some of them do multiple marathons. Some does Boston, some others across the country, including New York, and so they condition themselves for these type of races. It is a 26 plus mile run, and it is something that one just don't get up and do. They run to pretty much most of the boroughs, and it's something they have to be conditioned to. So seeing these guys do what they do, whether you're on television or live, it's always a memorable moment. And seeing these guys do it, in terms of me, brought back a lot of nostalgia for them. Last year, they couldn't do it, of course, because of the major storm that hit New York. Sandy really took his toll on this city, and whether you believe it or not, we still haven't fully recovered yet. Some of the subway lines are still down. Some structures are still haven't been repaired. So this storm really took a hit to the point where MTA is trying to come up with new plans to better prepare themselves for the storm, because they got hit hard, and when they got hit hard, it caused a major damage. Right now, parts of the train tunnels have been completely shut down and probably will not be open until late next year. That's how extensive the damage is. The R train has now had two split services. The one train is running on the old last stop, which surprisingly kept open, but that's going to be running on the old last stop, while the new station, which cost them a lot of money to begin with, get actually repaired. So the Sandy situation really did took its toll, and Bloomberg, who tried to keep the marathon on, which probably would have gave him the most harshest criticism in his whole entire tenure as the mayor, thought wisely to listen to the critics and actually and not to have the marathon this year. He could easily have reschedule it, but I think it was already too little too late, because they already had set up for that particular day, and there was no way they can actually do a makeup day. But in any case, that's led to there was no marathon the first time ever in New York since the marathon has begun. So seeing them back doing this run was something of a big event, more bigger than probably all the marathons that has done since it got started, because it was really the first marathon in over a year. So kudos to them. The guys did a great job. There was some changes in terms of security, as you may guys know. The Boston situation with the bombing really shook a lot of people up, including New York. This caused major changes in security. If you try to come in with a bag watching the runs, you was not going to be allowed in. There was no bags allowed, and security was tight. But ironically, no complaints. Nobody complained about it. I think everybody came in with that idea that this is what's going to be the norm, and it's probably going to be the norm for the rest for the remaining of the running series. I don't think they're going to change into that anytime soon because of what happened. But again, there was no complaints. Everything went smoothly. Everybody had a good time, and it went pretty much without any major people complaining about too much security. It actually went well, and that's very important. So first running, these guys got a great applause. These guys still getting applause after they have stopped running, and well deserved. Now let's get on to some not so good news, at least for one person who is facing serious backlash. This involving an article which I will be leaving a link to. It involves a 22-year-old who thought it was a good idea to dress up as one of the Boston Marathon's bombing victims. Needless to say, it didn't vote too well when she posted these pictures in the World Wide Web. In fact, the World Wide Web immediately was fuming. This is what happened. A woman identified as 22-year-old Alexandra Ann Lynch is said to have provoked the wrath of thousands of social media users after tweeting and pretty much posting the offensive photos of herself. This photo, if you look at it, is out there. It is definitely tasteless. But I'll just continue reading. The identifying information about Lynch was circulating, as well as the nude videos and pictures that had allegedly she appeared in. This is after, once they realized what was how offensive the words were. You know how people go and try and find information to find out who that person is, and that's what happened. This one provoked it so much anger that it even went to death threats, her losing her job, as well as having her Twitter account suspended. Now, whether her account will be reinstated or not, that is still a question to be had. But the thing is, the situation is such an outlet that she actually went out and tweeted before, by the way, her account was suspended. She tweeted, said, "Please stop the death threats towards my parents," because her parents was getting this. "They did nothing wrong. I was in the wrong. I am paying for being insensitive," she tweeted. She also wrote that she indeed lost her job over the costume fiasco. This also, the internet's anger has spun out of control to the point where some Twitter users have brought some reasoning to the fire, reminding others that violence and bullying are never the answer, because it's gotten that bad. And just to let you guys know, the Boston Magazine had pointed something out, that she's not the only one who's being looked at in terms of offensive costumes. Several Twitter users expressed interest of dressing up like Obama, responsible for the horrific attack, or a victim of the disaster. The Boston has also brought out choosing to celebrate Halloween by making light of tragedy is always a horrible idea, but it seems like even those men who dressed up as the body of the airline pilots, of that Asian airline pilots, or those Trayvon Martin / George Zimmerman coffins, one too many people didn't get the memo this year, and that's unfortunate. What's even sad about this, as we all look at this, is there are actually distributors who are actually making these offensive costumes, actually thinking that this will be great, this will be a great idea, let's make light of it. And those are the people I'm also more upset about, more so than the people who are wearing these costumes, because they're making it. They must knew that there's a big market for it, and they're making it despite the fact that they know it will bring not so good reactions towards the people. She is just one of perhaps many people who have done this, but unfortunately, she was the one that got caught out there first because of the costume. Now, I've seen it, and yeah, it is out there. And yeah, she's not the only one, but the point is, hers got the most attention because hers got the most fury on the World Wide Web. And I have to say this again, I cannot stress this enough. Whatever you guys do, please be mindful what you put on the internet, because once it's there, it's gone. It's not going to be gone. It's going to still be there forever. People are going to share it, retweet it, repost it, reblog it. This will spread, and next thing you know, you have something that you never really intend to, that can not only cause more problems for you and your families, but it can actually cause problems for your career, or even cost you your career. This has happened way too many times, especially knuckleheads who thought it was a great idea to post that crime on Facebook or on YouTube. I don't know what goes in their mind when they think this, but you're basically asking for trouble when you do this, okay? You're basically asking for trouble when you do this, and this is no different. I'll leave a link below. You guys can check it out yourself. It's definitely something worth talking about. But I'm moving on. And what better way to talk about it is Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney making some headways again. It's been a while since I've seen his name um, on the pavement. But it seems like that for a while now, there's been some frequently asked questions about Mitt Romney, his pick, who he thinks is going to be the big 2016 nominee, even though 2016 is nowhere near it, and we don't start doing primaries debates until at least late 2015. So the question is why everybody's such going into this now when we still have a president that is still in office. It's beyond me, but you know how the media is sometimes. They just have to have something to talk about. But it is something that I want to hear from our former ex-Republican candidate, see what he wants to talk about, see what he wants to bring up. And he brought up some interesting things about the nominees. And now the first thing that caught my attention was who he didn't think is eligible to run, and no surprise there, it was Ted Cruz. Um, he did mention something else, and it pretty much solidifies just how much respected and how much people think he's more electable than any other Republican, and that's Chris Christie. You also have the guys in the middle. Paul Ryan, who was his ex-running mate. You also have Jeff Bush and a guy I never heard before, Marco Rubio. This is a guy who who these are the guys who they always talking about in terms of who they think that will be a good nominee for the GOP. The article is very short. There's also a video, but I'm going to read the article here. And it says, Mitt Romney isn't including Tea Party favorite Ted Cruz among the Republicans' most electable potential presidential candidate for 2016. Who does the 2012 GOP nominee put on his list of very credible people? His ex-running mate Paul Ryan, Senator Marco Rubio, former Florida Governor Jeff Bush. But Romney says New Jersey Chris Christie stands out as one of his very strongest lights. Romney was asked on NBC Meet the Press whether Texas Senator Ted Cruz is a potential light. Romney said he's not going to disqualify anybody, but he made it clear that he has given the names of those he thought were the most effective to become elected. It also goes on to say and remind us all that Cruz, led the GOP effort to shut down the government in an effort to dismantle Obama health care laws. But they want to remind us of why he is not an electable person, especially, and he's not going to be electable. He's not going to get that chance because there are people in the GOP who just simply do not like him, especially how he is cocky, arrogant, and believes what he's doing is for the best for everybody, and it's not. I don't want to go in for that situation, but if he was ever to be nominated for a presidential candidacy, I would be very, very worried. Very, very worried. But it hasn't happened yet. 2016 is not here yet. As long as he keeps messing up, which he will, I'm not going to continue to even consent that he will ever be picked. Okay, on to the weird files. I was trying to debate which one should I pick to talk about. Which one should I actually give my attention to? I might as well talk about the former Jerry Spinier's bodyguard, police officer, whatever you want to call him. I'm not a fan of his. I'm just going to be right now making it very clear. Save Wlikos. It says here in this article, Save Wlikos' craziest moments, the man with one perfect breath. Normally I would have put this in Entertainment Roundup, but Entertainment Roundup season hasn't started yet, so I might as well just put it on this and see just how weird this story is. Here we go. Come on. Okay. It says here, not that much to talk about. It says here the 19-year television career that include hosting his own talk show and directing security for Jerry Springer, Steve Waco has been seen some bizarre things, but his experience sticks out in his mind: a man with one female breast. Okay, there was two guys fighting and each other shirts at each other's shirts off. He told Huffington Post Live. This one guy shirt got taken off, and he had perfectly formed female breasts, one, just one, and it's glorious, a beautiful breast. That's the one that stuck out to him. Kind of curious. During the commercial break, Waco decided to get during the commercial break, Waco decided to get a breast of a thrilling sensation. I asked, "What is that?" And he said, "Oh, I was born with it." Waco recounted. "Well, did you tell anybody on the show?" "No, I had nothing to do with the story." No, it had nothing to do with the story. I'm surprised he actually went up to the guy. Waco is still surprised he didn't come up with didn't come up in the conversation, even in passing. I don't I don't know. He said maybe we should have known that. You know, I'm just curious on why this has actually stuck out with him more so than the fact that there was a guy on the show who got into a fight and his shirt ripped off, and that was the first thing that actually took notice to Waco. I really am, because that's keep in mind that I'm not a Jerry Springer fan. Unfortunately, I had the displeasure of watching his show, but I've seen some crazier stuff than that, and it still bothers me that that's out of all that, between a guy with barely no limbs, to a bearded woman, to all the stuff that was going on in that show. That was the one thing that stuck out. That just so happens not to be a part of the show to begin with. Makes me wonder. The capper to the story. What? The capper to the story. Me and the guy went out for a nice dinner later that night. He joked. Which more? What? Oh, okay. I'm hoping that was a joke. I really do hope that was a joke. But there is actually video on this, so you guys can check out the video himself. If I'm pausing, it's because I'm still trying to fathom what was going on in Waco's mind. Because keep in mind, the way he describes it in this article, it makes you feel like that he was really, I don't know, turned on by this. I mean, it's just the weirdest thing that was the one thing he caught wind to it, and nobody else did. Even the guy who was fighting, he didn't say, "What was this?" I just think that I don't know. I just think there was another reason why he that seemed to burn more steadily in his memory. But maybe I'm overlooking this story, and maybe Steve Waco himself is overlooking the situation, because they're all guys with big breasts. You know, maybe that's just what it is. But it is weird. Got nothing to say about it. You guys may think this stuff's so crazy, but hey, you know what? To each his own. I'll leave a link before I'm gonna get away from this, because that was kind of weird, but it's for the different reasons. Again, I'll just leave it on the comment section. You guys can take a look at it yourself. Alright, so now on to one more news, and I'm going to wrap it up. We'll try some good news. This time I'm going to be picking up random news today. And the reason why I'm picking up random news is because I'm doing a freestyle, and freestyles are sometimes all random. So let's see what news caught my attention. I'll talk about it, and then we'll just wrap it up from there. But try some good news for a change. This looks promising. And this is a very good news, and you guys might like this. This is actually real good news if I'm reading this correctly. I'm just waiting for it to upload. I will read it to you guys. This is something that will bring some good tender warmth to your hearts just as soon as this story unloads. There we go. It says here, Jade, hero German Shepherd, saved newborn baby abandoned in a Birmingham park in England. Okay. Come on. So that's the main headline story. A keen-eared German Shepherd has been credited. Something happened here. Slow down because there's a video being posted. But it says here, and I will leave a link to this one as well because this is something I think everybody should read. A keen-eared German Shepherd has been credited with saving a newborn's life after an infant was abandoned in a park in Birmingham, England. According to the Birmingham Mail, Roger Whitley, a 68-year-old grandfather, had been walking his 9-year-old German Shepherd Jade last week when the dog suddenly sprinted towards the bushes. Jade said to have laid down next to the to what appears to be a discarded carriage bag and refused to return to his owner's side. As Wiley approached the dog, he realized that the carrier wasn't empty. I walked over to and saw the carrier bag, and I saw it moving. Wiley told the Birmingham Mail, I thought it was a bag of kittens, but when I saw the little arms and head and the baby started crying. Shocked, Whitley immediately called police when authorities arrived. The baby, believed to have been only 24 hours old when she was found, was whisked to the hospital. That's the English term for rush. On Friday, the Westmoreland police shared the video of the beautiful infant who has been named Jade after the canine rescued, as well as some happy news. Facebook posted at the bottom. Baby Jade is recovering well in the hospital. Birmingham East Police Chief Inspector Ian Green said, according to the Facebook post, I'm told she's very alert and a content, happy baby. She's doing well and should make a full recovery over the next couple of days. So there's some good news for you guys. Practitioners have confirmed the baby was lucky to be found when she was even just a few more hours exposed to the element cold could have been fatal. Fatal consequences, Green said, according to the Post. The BBC reports that the baby is believed to have been at the park for about 30 minutes before the dog discovered her. The Wiley said that the dog's excellent sense of hearing and affection towards children likely led her to the newborn. Jane never found anything before. She must have heard the baby crying, as these dogs have very good hearing. Plus, she's very keen on our 5 grandchildren. Roger's wife, Catherine, Wiley told the Birmingham Mail, whenever she hears their name, she whimpers. She just loves kids. I think the dog saved the baby's life. I'm very proud of her, Wiley told the BBC. This is a great story, guys. And like I said, there's video confirmation here if you guys want to check it out. I got nothing else to say. I think the story speaks for itself. Like I said, sometimes we need some good news that will, fill it up there. There are hope. And that dog, give that dog an extra treat because that dog is a hero. There's no question about that. I don't think there's nothing else to be said except I will leave a link so you guys can look for yourself. It's definitely a story worth sharing with others. It's definitely a story worth looking at and looking at the video. This is an adorable child here. Definitely, she's lucky to be alive. The only thing I can say is, and I don't think they're going to say it on this post, but I think they probably will do it in other news, that they haven't said they were doing any investigation. You pretty much, it's a shoe-in that they're going to investigate this. They're not going to just let this drop, so they're definitely going to be looking into this more closely. but they haven't been saying if anything about the investigation or what leads they have. They're just going to leave it as this, and probably keep everyone updated, especially in the UK, about tracking down the mother. So, um, again, great news. I will leave links to the story. I will leave links to all the stories, minus the New York Marathon. That was pretty much my non-link to the story, but I will leave links to every other story that I have talked about, that I had mentioned. But until then, guys, once again, it's J77 saying, leave your comments, leave your opinions, leave your thoughts of the articles, and please share the articles as well as read the articles, because I think they're very, very important. Um, and continue to express yourself. Until then, J77 saying, take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.